What's going on, people? It is Irish Gunner HD here, you can call me Irish, and welcome to episode 21 of Will It Drift. So, today's car is the Mazda MX5 SuperLight, as suggested by Konosumi. So, cheers for that, man. Let's get into it. So, as standard, it comes with 125 horsepower, 123 foot-pounds of torque, and it weighs 2,194 pounds. Now, I found the car, as standard, to be exceptional, if you wanted to race it. Awful drifter. It's very, very grippy, but not in the drifting sense of grippy, like, oh yeah, it grips the tires and just sends you on flying faster sideways. Like, it's grippy in the fact that, as you're seeing on the screen here, it doesn't want to be sideways, it just wants to be going straight the whole time. It's got too much grip for the low amount of power that it has. As usual, with the stock build, third gear isn't really an option. You just kind of pull a handbrake and power slide in second gear is pretty much what you're doing. It's very stiff though, it's very, very stiff, very responsive, being the car that it is, like an MX5. But it needs more power, obviously needs more power, that's without doubt, only 125 horsepower, even in Forza where like 300 is not a lot, 125 is definitely not a lot. It needs some gearing upgrades for faster gear shifts, and then it should be pretty good, like just more power, because it's already stiff, it's already responsive, you can already tell that it'll do what you want. So, moving on to the medium build here, you can see that I just added those deep dish wheels on it. It's got 321 horsepower, 253 foot-pounds of torque, and it weighs 1,934 pounds. So, the mods, as you can probably hear in the background, are first off, the Spirit R engine swap, the sport rotors and compression, I always mess this up. Race, springs and weight reduction. All drivetrain to race, and then the whole shot Sunstar wheels. I've had, the reason that I was comfortable with putting in the Spirit R engine is because I've already got one. If you've ever been in a public lobby with me and seen my red red MX5, sorry, it's, I know what they're like, and they're very, very good. Like, it doesn't take a lot to get an MX5 drifting once you've got the RX-7, or the Spirit R engine in it. And that's what I found to be the case with this one. It was incredible. It was more than fast enough, incredibly controllable. Maybe in the full build, once I tweak some of the gear ratios and stuff like that, it would be even better. But it was brilliant, absolutely perfect at the medium build. I definitely suggest you modify it using those upgrades and see for yourself. And I was actually sad that I'd have to try the full build, because I liked it the way it was, but obviously it all scales up, the more power, the wires, hers, etc. So, anyway, now it's got 478 horsepower, 376 foot-pounds of torque, and it weighs 1,885 pounds. Now, it's got a full build and tune, which initially had too much horsepower, so I moved the sports, rotors, and compressors, and I think that bumped down the horsepower a little bit, and the torque, of course, but I think that I actually forgot to note down what the final horsepower was. Because one of the things that you should be careful with these small cars with big engines in them is don't get sucked into the trap of just thinking, oh, I'll put the Spirit R engine in it and I'll max it out, and because it's such a small car it will fly. No, it's a small car, but it's also got a certain size tyres, and the chassis itself can't handle that amount of power. So you have to be careful. I thought 478 was a little too much, my personal opinion. So I took out a bit of power, as I said, took out the sports rotors and compression, and brought them back to stock, and kept the rest of the full build as I would have built it anyway. And I found it to be very good, very, very good, very quick, as you can imagine, incredibly controllable as it's been the whole way throughout. Again, it kept the whole stiffness of the body. It was just a very, very good car, and I kind of expected that, considering, as I said, I've already got one. But yeah, it was just a really good try. Definitely recommend it. So, obviously, I know this is not going to be a surprise now, but will it drift? Yes. Definitely. As I said, just amazing. The MX5s with the Spirit R engine, there's something about them that they just work. Provided, as I said, you use your head and you don't pump it full of power, you don't add all the bleeding turbos, upgrades and everything like that. Build it sensibly, don't put in too much power, don't be just spinning tires. If you build it sensibly, tune it correctly, spend a lot more, I'm happy with this as it is, but if I go back now and spend more time tuning it, and perfecting it, as it were, getting the gear ratios exactly right and stuff like that, I'm sure I can make it even better. But for as I build cars and Will It Drift, where I only spend a limited amount of time on them, I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was really very good. But that's it. If you enjoyed the episode, please do leave a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new here. Definitely check the car out. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.